Min Heejin released an official statement in response to the announcement of Hybe that they have removed her as the CEO, but she will stay on as a producer. And you sent tons of questions, so I'll answer some of them. Things that we are going to discuss. Number one, did NewJeans file a lawsuit to terminate their contract with Hybe? Number two, is it true that if Hybe does not buy the shares of Min Heejin in Adore, no one is going to buy it? And how did that happen? Number three, is Hybe forcing her to resign? And is this legal? Number four, why is Hybe offering Min Heejin a 2-month contract? Next, what are the points that Min Heejin is using to invalidate the dismissal of her shareholders' agreement with Hybe? Next, what are the mistakes Hybe corrected in order to remove Min Heejin as CEO and invalidate the shareholders' agreement? Next, what are the things that could favor Min Heejin and the things that could favor Hybe in court? And last, is this constructive dismissal? What is constructive dismissal anyway? Is it true that she is being forced to sign a 2-month producer contract? Min Heejin said that Hybe wants her to sign within 3 days a 2-month producer contract. This contract is actually the same as the board of directors contract she has that expires November 1. Hybe said that they will review whether or not they want to extend the contract after November 1. So that's the clarification. The board of directors contract and the producer's contract, from the point of view of Hybe, that's one and the same. Min Heejin said that it shouldn't be one and the same. Being a director and a producer are two different things and should not be in the same contract. The law firm further explained that a producer can fulfill their duties without being an executive director, as the roles are fundamentally different. Therefore, it is illogical to link the two together. And the executive director's term should be extended in accordance with the shareholders agreement, ensuring a total of 5 years. So what mistakes Hybe corrected to be able to remove Min Heejin as CEO this time? The shareholders agreement was the most crucial point. When they were able to invalidate that, they basically were able to remove her. Now, let's remember, Hybe owns 80% of Adore. But Hybe is not Adore. Adore is owned by Hybe, but it isn't Hybe. Now, let's pull back a little bit just to be clearer. No one has released the official ground Hybe used to dismiss the shareholders agreement. Whatever you hear are speculation or practical deduction, but not yet official. When Min Heejin filed for an injunction to prohibit Hybe from using their voting rights to remove her as CEO, the judge essentially said you can't fire her because although she betrayed Hybe, she didn't damage Adore. According to the shareholders agreement, Hybe is required to keep her in position as CEO of Adore for 5 years by voting in her favor. Now, there are two major points. Number one, Hybe can't fire her. Number two, the shareholders agreement requires that Hybe must always vote in her favor. So what Hybe did first was dismiss the shareholders agreement. They, as I've said, have not released the official ground that they used to dismiss the agreement. But in every contract, there is always a provision that allows the company to dismiss the contract automatically. For example, an endorsement deal usually contains moral clauses. When the artist does something immoral or illegal, the contract is terminated and all payment must be returned. In an employment, if an employee is discovered to be working for the competing company, for example, the contract gets terminated automatically. Without a shadow of a doubt, this contract also has those clauses. We just don't know what clauses were included and what Hybe used to justify the dismissal of the agreement. They have not disclosed this, at least not officially. Now, what Min Heejin's lawyers are arguing is that the contract has too many termination clauses that allow Hybe to automatically terminate the shareholders agreement. Remember that this is the contract that has been in place for years. So the law firm is contesting the validity of a contract that has been in place for years. Now, Hybe is asking the court to validate the dismissal. I guess, to make the dismissal airtight, but they are still waiting for the decision of the court. The put option. One thing crucial about the put option is that Adore is not a public company. Min Heejin owns shares in a private company. That makes selling her shares a little harder than when you want to sell your shares in a public company. That's why the put option was crucial for her, because it will require Hybe to buy it back. Without the put option, she will have to find someone that will buy it, and that will be tough and will put her in a corner. If she destroys Adore and it becomes worthless, then no one is going to want to buy it from her. But if she wants someone to be interested in buying it, then she will have to do everything within her power to make Adore a valuable company. And that's going to go against her original plan. Take note of the timeline. The dismissal of the shareholders agreement happened June 29. August 27, almost 2 months, the board of directors convened to replace her as the CEO. That's more than a month. Why did she not do anything? You could argue that she was preparing a lawsuit, but the law firm didn't seem to be prepared with a response when Hybe announced that she was replaced as a CEO. It's also impossible that Hybe didn't inform her of the decision to dismiss the shareholders agreement. No one is that stupid. For some reason, she didn't do anything for a month, or at least not enough. Did she not understand the implication of what she was being sent? Hopefully, someone can answer that question. Adore fired her, not Hybe. That's a crucial point, and it was Adore's board of directors that fired Min Heejin, not Hybe. Remember that the court said in the injunction decision, Hybe can't fire her because she didn't damage Adore. She betrayed Hybe, but she didn't damage Adore. So Hybe, a separate company from Adore, cannot fire her because they have no grounds to do so. Now, it's actually Adore that removed her from her position. So it does not go against the decision of the court. It was Hybe who is doing media play. Min Heejin said Hybe sent out a press release announcing the termination. It was Hybe that initially released the information to the press without any prior consultation, manipulating the media narrative. The Adore board of directors, all of whom were actually appointed by Hybe except her, demanded that she sign the contract within 3 days without any discussion about the production duties or any proposal for a negotiation deadline. The Adore board of directors, as I've said, all of whom were appointed by Hybe, made no effort to negotiate with the contracting parties, which is her. Of course, setting a deadline is natural. I mean, if you've ever gotten a job offer or any kind of contract, they usually tell you when you should sign the contract, or they would consider that invalid. But also, everyone knows you can negotiate that. You can pick up the phone and tell them, hey, you need to give me several days or whatever. That's just natural. And I think they know that. I think they added this clause just to make sure that their case appears thicker to the public, but I think they know that it is immaterial. Clause on additional roles beyond your duties as a producer. This is just a standard clause in any statement of work, usually, or in any employment contract. They put it there just in case they need you to do things that are not mentioned in the job description or statement of work, but are necessary to get the job done or to complete the project or something like that. Again, just like the previous one, I think they put it here just to make their case appear thicker, but I think they know this is a pretty standard thing in a contract. Is this constructive dismissal? And what is constructive dismissal? A constructive dismissal is when an employee is forced to leave their job against their will due to the actions of the employer. And this can happen when an employer does any or a combination of the following or all of the following: breaches the contract, creates a hostile environment, unilaterally changes terms, harasses or bullies the employees, or discriminates. If Min Heejin can prove that Hybe is doing any of this, she can sue. This is actually not legal. I do think that Hybe wants her to resign. That's what Hybe would have preferred, but they fired her nonetheless. I mean, they've been battling it out in court since the beginning of the year. That's not a secret. And Hybe actually said it. But just because they said it doesn't mean that they are going to do it, even if it is in an illegal way. I think because they know everyone's watching, they know because of the history, I think they will become extra careful on how they are actually going to do things. So I'm I think that their lawyers, I'm pretty sure their lawyers are extra careful on how they're going about this, because Min Heejin is not going to go down without a fight. She's going to fight for this, and they know that. That's why they need to be extra careful. Min Heejin is not NewJeans' producer right at this moment. So as of this moment, Min Heejin is not the producer of NewJeans. I can only imagine that the CEO, the new CEO of Adore, is busy restructuring the company. They did announce that they are going to restructure it to follow the structure of other labels, and that is to separate the creatives and the business aspect of the business. And but she still owns 18% of Adore. So we're going to have to wait how the court is going to decide. But as of this moment, she's not the producer of NewJeans. Is NewJeans suing Hybe to terminate their contract? Is NewJeans suing Hybe to terminate their contract? And you asked for my opinion on whether or not they should stay or go. There is just one or two people on X that posted about this, that there is a rumor that they're suing Hybe, but that's it. Outside of those two tweets, I haven't seen anything else. So just be careful on on who you believe, because you might be, these people might be clickbaiting. They might be correct. I don't know. So just be careful. That's all I'm saying. But as of now, I haven't seen any other release or any other evidence that would prove that they are suing Hybe. Now, do I want them to go or do I want them to stay? I am stuck. From a business perspective, I definitely don't want to set up a precedent, meaning I don't want other idols in the future to think, oh, I can actually wiggle my way out of a contract with Hybe. All I need to do is this and this and this. I don't want that precedent. On the other hand, I also don't like forcing people. If you don't want to work here, why am I going to force you? So one side of me is just, if you want to go ahead, just pay the contract and then you can go. But if this is not, I wouldn't put it past the five girls to actually want to terminate their contract, because they're very, very loyal to Min Heejin. I just hope that the law firm that they, if they ever get to this point, I hope that the law firm that they consult is someone that is very, very objective, because quite honestly, they have no legal basis to sue Hybe at this stage. It's like, what are you going to say? Oh, they took away our favorite producer. It's like, dude, that's not your job. It's not up to you who will produce you. So there is just no legal basis for them to sue Hybe at this moment. Plus, if you're going to look at it, really, Hybe has the best resources for them. That's why they want to stay. That's why they've been fighting to stay in Hybe. They said it in their letters. They want Min Heejin to be their producer, and they want to stay in Hybe because they are aware that they have the kind of resources, networks, and connections that they need to go up and to continue to progress, to become more successful in their career. So I hope that whoever it is that they're going to consult, a law firm, a business manager, whatever, I hope that it's somebody very, very objective, so that they can see the facts, just the facts, in relation to their future as singers and as performers and artists. Okay. I hope that I answered most of your questions. Let me know if there's anything else that you want me to cover. I want to go back to something more positive in the next post. So also, I haven't posted so much on Asian culture, and you know that I like doing that. So I'll do that. And also start posting on other Asian entertainment, other Asian artists and movies and TV shows again. Also, I'm starting to do live. I might do a survey just to see what is the best time for you, because I'm still trying to decide what would be my fixed time to do live. All right, if you ended up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Of course, share the video if you can, because that's really helping my channel. Follow me on X or on Twitter, and also on Patreon. I do have a free tier. And also follow me on Instagram. I am going to start posting there as well. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you all.